How's it going, y'all? So, I've been needing to work on getting the code ready and everything for other episodes, and I want to make more content. So I know it's pretty early for a lot of people out there, including myself. But we can always, I'm gonna have this up so people can always go back and watch and all of that stuff. So I don't really expect many viewers this stream, but maybe as I start streaming and more people watch the streams and whatnot. Oh, did my stream just die? Or what's going on here? I don't know why that stopped. Oh, looks like it's still fine. Okay, cool. So, like I said, I don't really expect many people to, hop in on this one, but I'm gonna keep it up, and we're gonna do that. So, unfortunately, eventually we are gonna get rid of the leak code, and we're gonna replace leak code with these. So, it is what it is. But yeah, so here over the next few weeks, or episodes, whatever, or streams, whatever we want to call it. We're gonna work on the homepage. So we've got real Twitter, we've got fake Twitter. So we've done a lot of the modal stuff, as you can see here. I want to work on just the homepage and some stuff like that. I do have a list of other things I need to fix, but I'm not going to deal with those right now. I just want to do a little bit of designing and stuff like that. So in the front end, I think the first thing that we're going to need to do this morning is figure out, let's see. So we got our pages, got our app. So what we're probably going to want to do is just maybe take a copy of this home page, this feed page, and put it outside the router. That way we can just see it all the time. Because right now we have a means of pushing us off the page if we aren't logged in. So I think my Spotify just got stolen, so cool. Well, I guess we're not gonna listen to Spotify. And so let me see here. See if that playlist is on YouTube. See, okay, there's a, looks like there is a playlist. Let's see. They're just a whole playlist. Here we go. Oh, maybe not. Here we go. Let's listen to this, I guess. Anyway, so unfortunately my thing got stolen. Oh, and now apparently my stream bitrate or my audio bitrate is down. Interesting. Well, we'll see how this goes and everything. It says I'm talking. All right. So if it doesn't work, it is what it is. I'll figure out and figure it out as I go. So let's see. So I think we're gonna need to take this feed page element and just bring it up here for now. I'll throw it outside the router, and we should. Although I thought it used to say feed page on it, unless I took that out. Let's take a look what the feed page looks like. Oh shoot. Okay, so it's not gonna work because we don't have. So I guess let's go ahead and log in, I guess. And we'll just put a just log a user in. So that also means that we need to open up Eclipse. So give me a sec to open up Eclipse. And we'll see if the audio really is scuffed or if it's working or not, because on my end it looks like it's working. And it says that the stream is fine and everything, so it is what it is. Okay, Eclipse is opening. Open up the Twitter clone. Alright, let's get this guy running. Shouldn't have to set anything up, I don't think. Ooh, I might need Docker running. And I killed Docker desktop. Or that might have been a different day. Let me see. Let's see if my Docker's running. Oh, container's running. That's not good. Because I signed out. Okay, well, now we're going to get our, because I think this uses, it's been a while since I've used this. I messed with the app. I think we're using I think we're using Postgres in this. Actually, this one might be set up with H2. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this one's fine. It's just H2. Alright, cool. So, let's see. What we need to do is, I guess, just start the application. I don't know where my Spring dashboard went, but let's see. Window. There you go. I don't know why all my stuff is all messed up right now, but I suppose it's fine. And Spring Boot dashboard. There we go. All right. So, oh, you know what? This is a new environment, quote unquote. That's probably why. All right, cool. So this should be technically a version, the same version right now as the version that we have on the series. So we should be able to log in. The only thing that might break is, let me go back into tokens and delete the stored credential and restart. This might be the only thing that's broken right now. So let me rerun this and we'll do the Google authentication. So it should pop up and say, hey, go to this website. And I think there's hopefully a way to automate this. Okay, that's verified. And now we should be able to log in. Okay. And we'll need to fix this. I don't know if we have a user set up. Again, I haven't touched this in a while. And let's fix this as well. Project presentation. Is this hierarchical? But it's not. This is the type of thing that you gotta deal with every single time you don't touch a project for a while. And we do put in, oh, we're gonna need a fake email. Okay, so let's go to fake email. Mail. I guess I probably should have done this on whatever it's called. I should have done this on incognito, but whatever. So I have here, I guess we can just go ahead and sign up a new user. So we'll say unknown and coder, and let's see, unknown coder, put in our email, put in our date of birth, 16, sure, next. There's still a few things in here that I need to fix, but it is what it is. We got our email and everything, sign up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, we're not doing the email thing because for the phone number thing, because the phone number costs money to send. Okay, show verification code, make sure this is all still working. I haven't touched this code since before the baby came, so it's been a while since I've actually coded this, so it's also good that I just kind of get my hands on it again. We'll just say PASS word. At one point, this one was broken on another one, so I need to take a look at that as well. But next, and this is a bug. So instead of, I'm gonna write this bug down real quick. So let's see. Instead of going to feed page, it sends you to what's it send you to? It sends you to search for email or search for a user page. Interesting. So this is kind of like my rundown of what I need to work on and everything like that. So, and also kind of like the walkthrough of what I'm putting in here. But that should have created a user. And now this is broken. Okay, cool. But I'll have to take a look at why I did that. That's not what I'm here to work on right now. So should be able to sign in with that email though that we had in here. So this email, let's see, paste it in there. And we have our random username, our password. Okay, so that's not good. So we have an issue here with, for some reason it's going to find an account instead of logging in. Interesting. So let's see. I guess let's take a look through the code here. So this is going to be the landing.tsx. And so we have register question mark. So for some reason it's toggling forgot password whenever we are clicking on login. Login does have a toggle password or toggle forgot password. So let's look at the login modal, I guess. And let's see. Maybe what we should do, toggle login. So we're gonna need to change this for sure, but I'm trying to think about how I want to actually change this. Because right now, whenever we log in, I'm guessing, let's look at the inspect element console. Is it saying user's not logged in? So it does have a user in there. Now the object's empty. Let's see. Let's refresh. Close out of this. Try to log in. So sign in. That email. Next. Put in our password. And it should just be password. Log in. So it says that the user's not logged in. But this also says logged in user is this is a token. So if we refresh, let's take a look at our application. Local storage has a user token in it. So it should be able to go to /feed. slash home. Might be slash home. Okay, yes, so that is working. But whenever we log in, there's something going on or something weird with the login flow. Interesting. So, But what is wrong with the login flow? We have token and user token. I don't know which one's which. One was from a different project. So the first thing that we need to do, I guess, is not make forgot password true. So I'm gonna go ahead and say one untoggle forgot password by default. And we can do this, type yes, and this is how I do all this, just for the people, the haters out there saying, oh, you don't do this, you don't do that. So this will be on the landing. Oops, landing.ts x, and we're going to do this. So this is going to be forgot password to false. So this will fix that one bit. And as long as we don't restart our application, we're still going to have that user in the back end. So, okay, so now that is good. So now we need to, whenever we sign in, we have that email. Whoops. We have this temp email. And okay, next we say PASS word. And let's make sure that's not doing anything funky on the back end. No, it's definitely working on the back end. Now whenever we log in, interesting, now it just works. So it has something to do with, I don't know, I guess it being set to true by default. There we go. Okay. So there's that. That's working now. That's what we needed. So I guess we don't need this anymore. Cool. So now what I want to do, take a look at how Twitter's kind of broken down and do some math and stuff. And I kind of want to walk you through my ideology and thinking, I guess. So take a snipping of this. Okay, I'm going to have to edit some stuff out. Take a snipping of this guy. Actually, I want to do it like this though. Inspect. And we're going to, okay, cool, that's fine. So whenever we're on like a normal size screen here, let's say like a 1920 wide. So like this is the size of my screen, 1920. I don't want me to go any wider than 1920, but I will let us go 1920. So this is what our screen looks like whenever, you know, we're full screen. So if we take this, we do this, right? So whenever we look at this, what I'm going to see is there's like 3 distinct areas in this. So we have this area, this third right here. We have this third in the middle. I can't undo. So, okay, it's just going to look horrible. It is what it is, right? So third here, a third here, but the outer thirds are also like kind of split, right? So really it's kind of like this. We have this part right here. We have this part right here. The message is kind of just their own thing, and then we have the middle. So what we need to do is we need to kind of figure out how big is this box right here. Because this is going to be the box where the actual content's sitting. And then we're going to split up the box into these three sections. So we'll have our entire page kind of here. And there's always going to be white space on the left and right. Then we'll have box 1, box 2, box 3 here. So that's what we need to figure out, is kind of the dimensions of this. So if we actually come in here, it looks like they actually have it split into 2. But we should be able to figure out kind of how big this is, because this entire thing is 1920. Well, it's actually 1924, but now the entire thing is 1920. So for example, if this section right here, roll up, this section right here is, I just lost it, terrific. You did. And I lost it. Okay, let me find it again. It's because I scrolled up on this. Go back down. I'm going to have to put it on the side. There we go. So now, if we select this part is approximately 260, right? So I'm gonna write this down real quick. So this is approximately 260 pixels wide out of the 1920. So I'll say 260. Thank you. So this is 260, and if we can get this height as well, or this one. So this one is 350 for some reason. So, you know, it is what it is, 350. And then the middle one, let's see. So the middle one is, let's see if we can get the full width of it here on one of these. That's about the full width. And this one is about 600, give or take. So now we can kind of figure out how wide this entire like 3-panel piece is. So if we say 260 plus 600 plus 350, about 1200. Now we can say 1920 divided by 1200. And that didn't do it. Let's do 1200 divided by 1920. So it takes up about 60% of the screen. Or no, that's not 60%, is it? That's that looks like 6%, 63%, something like that. So what we can go ahead and do is come into here and go on to not our landing page, but our feed page. We can start kind of setting up some of the stuff, right? So this div will have another like thing in here. So this will just be, I think I've been calling this just like feed or whatever page, landing container. So I'll just call this feed container equal to feed dash container, right? And then I'm gonna have another div here. We're going to do some looking at some of my old code from the I think from the from the grid, because I'm not that grid, but we have another div with a class name equal to feed-content, and this is where the actual content will be, right? So what we're gonna do is we'll make a new, so let's say Yeah, we can go and do all of the all of the HTML first, probably. We'll see. So I'll do a new file, and I'll call this feed.css. And the landing page is going to go away for now. And I'll do feed container. So feed container is going to be pretty bare bones. It'll just be like a width of 100%, right? A height of 100%. We'll have a flex or a display flex. And I'll have a flex direction of column. You know, justified content center. Although we probably don't need to do this, but it is what it is. And then align content. There's the line items center. A little bit out of practice. Cool. So there's that, right? And this shouldn't change anything inside of our page, really. If we come in here, well, other than it signed us out for some reason. The user should still be signed in. I deleted the code in here. Yeah. Okay. So now if I say h1 hello feed page, and I'll need to do some work to push us back to the home page whenever there's a user, but not that big of a deal. Okay, so let's see what's going on with this. Why are you not working? Div root feed container. Did I not? Let's see. Oh, I need to import it. Of course. Classic import / feed.css. To me again. There we go. Centered. Cool. And honestly, we probably don't want it centered like that. We probably want it at the top. So what we probably actually want is something more like, I forget which way this goes. We'll try flex start on this one. There we go. So that's probably what we really want. So there's that. And what we want to do now, there's that first part. Again, nothing too crazy here. Next, what we want to do is start setting up this content. Now, the content is going to be a little bit finicky, I think. So feed content is going to be 60% of the other page dot feed content. So we're going to have a height of 100% of the parent. We're going to have a width of, and it was like 63. So I'm just going to round up to 65. Take up a little bit more screen real estate. I'm going to have a background color really quick of like blue, just so we can see what's going on here to see if it's working. So as you can see, and that even still seems like a little bit too wide, or maybe not wide enough. I can't tell. But now we kind of got like our spacing here, and we can start kind of working on the different panels. And the different panels are what's going to be kind of rough. I'm going to go back and look at the our grid, because I'm going to have for like this size, and I think it goes until we hit like and it looks like this is like actually Twitter does it, I think, differently. I think Twitter keeps these literally the same exact size until it hits a certain size. So maybe shouldn't even worry about the other thing. Maybe I should have just done like, okay, whenever we hit like 12, let's see. Whenever we hit 1281 for whatever reason, let's just say 1280, it's going to get smaller, right? What we need is we need basically a we need, how's it going 18th? We need a grid that allows us to have this size of different panels, 3 different panels this size, until we hit this size, and then this panel is going to get smaller and kind of go from there. The middle panel doesn't change. And we know that this left panel is 260 approximately. This panel is about 600 and this one's about 350. So what we could do is we could cheat a little bit. And I guess what we'll do is we'll get rid of this feed content when we'll need it. But what we're going to have is we'll have 3 different panels. I'm trying to think how I want to do this, because they should probably be different features. So I got to think a little bit about it, and this is why sometimes I don't really live stream all that much, because sometimes I gotta really think and decide like what's gonna be best, basically. So we need those 3 panels for sure. I think if I want to do them each in features, because if we come back in here, like I could see like this being a feature. These 2 get linked together somehow, and it stops scrolling after a little bit, which is a little bit strange. And this side should never scroll, but you know, it is what it is. I don't like that this scrolls, but you know, what can you do? So we got to figure out how I'm going to break these into components, because I don't really want to just put them into, you know, all into the feed page. So probably we need what I'm probably going to do is let me think. I guess we will go and do a features for feed. So we'll say a new folder. This is live, is it not? I'll be going live like Tuesday and Thursday around this time. Hopefully every week. We'll see what happens though. So I'm gonna go ahead and say feed. And okay, and let's go ahead and update this. So to modify the feed page with modify the feed page. Probably come back through and redo this, and I'll go back and record this episode later. So now this is gonna look like this, and then we'll say 3 update create the CSS for the feed page. I guess we probably should set up the actual grid. So now I gotta think about, I think the grid was on the landing page, right? So let's see. Yeah, so for this, we had a landing layout with our grid template and all of that stuff, right? So, I guess with the width, we don't want to do 100%. We want to do it's basically hard coded. I don't really love how Twitter hard codes it, but it's basically hard coded at 1200 pixels. So what we could do is once again go here, and I'll call this feed layout, I guess, feed layout, and we'll see if we can get this working, and then we'll figure out all of the other stuff. So we have our feed layout here. Dot feed layout. And there's going to be a lot of back and forth and stuff like that with this live streaming, so it's not going to be as clean and everything as the episodes and whatever, and that's fine. So we don't want a width of 100. We probably want to, we'll have our width of 1200 pixels, I guess. Again, I don't know why Elon has it not flexible, but it is what it is. And if we come back in here, we need to fix this. We will eventually. We can't see anything. So let's see. Go back to our feed page. And let's just say H1. Actually, let's just add a background color to this for now. So background color of like blue, so we can see what's going on. Make sure it's centered and everything. And has nothing. Feed layout. Feed layout. Because it doesn't have a height. Might not have a height. Let's check this. There we go. Okay, so that's about what Twitter looks like. There's that. Okay. So again, it looks ugly for now, but we're gonna fix it. So now what we're gonna do is, I don't know necessarily that we need the Y overflow scroll, but we do need display grid. So say display grid. We need our grid template areas. So grid template areas are going to be, in this, we might have to do something similar to this min width here. Min width, we have to do something like min width 1300 basically. So that's what I'm going to do. For now, I am going to keep, actually, let's just go ahead and do the app media. Min width, and it's like 1280 pixels approximately. Dot feed dash layout. All right, so width will be 1200, and I guess I could have just copy pasted this, huh? This should still be true. So 1200, 100% grid. And this is gonna be just 1, 2, 3 across the top. This is gonna change. So that's why we're doing this, because the layout changes as things go along, right? So again, we're not gonna see any change in here yet. It looks the same. So there's that. And now what we need is landing left, landing middle, landing right. And this is going to change. So maybe we call it landing, or maybe we call it like div. Whoops. Div class name equal to like feed dash section dash 1, because it's going to move around. Or feed dash what should we do? Feed dash, because I don't really want to call it section 1. This is like feed dash menu section, right? And then we have a div, and this can be class name equal to feed dash, and this will be like the actual like content section. And this one's not moving anywhere, and then finally we have a div with a class name equal to feed dash. I don't even know what this section would be called. Search or info. I'm gonna call it like search or something. And here's the other thing that's gonna be interesting is this piece stays at the top and this piece stays at the top. And then this one rolls separately. So that's also going to be interesting. But I think that maybe since it's 100% height or it's full width, should be fine. It should stick to the top. Anyway, so this will be feed dash info section, I guess. Okay. So now what we gotta do is basically do the same exact thing. We have the height and all of that stuff. We're not gonna be able to like do the scrolling and all of that stuff. We'll have to figure that out inside each individual one of these, and this is where we'll have different individual components eventually. So what we'll do is say feed menu section. Feed menu section, and this will be grid dash area dash, oh yeah, grid area, and this is going to be 1, right? This is going to have a height of 100%, and it'll have a width of 260. Yikes. I'll also have a background color on it for now, for like, I don't know, we'll do blue violet, whatever. We're just trying to see if this wants to work or not. There we go. So now we have our first section right there, right? And then what we need is to do the dot feed dash content dash section, and this is going to be grid dash area 2. The height will be 100% again, and the width this time is about 600 pixels. This one I'm not going to put a background color on. We'll just keep the same background color. And next is dot feed dash info dash section, and this would be grid area 3. Oops, grid area 3. The height will be 100% again, and the width of this one is approximately 350 pixels. Right, and this one will have a background color of like red or something. So let's see. Now you can see we have our info, or like our menu section, we have our content, and then we have our other one. Now obviously this is pretty ugly, but you guys get the idea. And we should probably have like a scroll and all of that there, but this is a good spot to go ahead and be like, okay, so let's say instead of modify the feed page, we say set up these sections in the feed page like that, and then we can come in here and we can grab this. This is how I do things for these videos. And I'm going to go ahead and fix this to make it look a little bit better. All right, so there's that. And then we can also say, create the CSS for the feed page. And go to our feed.css and copy. Again, we're going to have to do some other things on here as well. We're not just going to be able to keep it like this. but this is a good start at least. So we'll copy this part and copy this, put it to our walkthrough. So this will be feed.css. Put CSS here, paste that there, and voila, just like that, we're good to go. So now what I'm thinking is we don't need this for now. So now we have our 4 sections, right? Like we talked about, we have a section here, a section here, and a section here. You can clearly see that we have our section here, our section here, and our section here. So maybe now we start working on some of these components to put into these sections, right? So the first one is this one. And I'm not sure we're going to do a little dot and all of that stuff. We're going to have to figure out how to deal with all of that later. And also going to kind of get rid of this. So we have a couple sections, and I can't tell if there is like a actual line there or not. I don't think there is. Excuse me, it's early. We have this that just, I'm guessing, goes to home. Guess it reloads the page. I'm not sure what's going on with this. I guess it just reloads everything. So we have like a little icon here, and then we got some notification lists. We have a tweet button, and then we have profile, which says add existing or log out, and it doesn't actually take you to your profile. Interesting. So how do you actually get to your dang profile on here? Who knows? But that's what we got. So what we need to do, and I'm curious what happens if this is really long. That's something that we can look into. So we have this logo already. That's not a big deal, but we need to kind of figure out these different things here, right? Oh, this profile. So what we can do, and let me double check. I forget what we're using here. So we're using, look at the package.json. So we're using Material UI, MUI. So let's go into Material UI components, or Material UI icons, right? And let's see. So we need a few things. We need like a home icon. I'm sure they have. This isn't working, so that's great. I'm sure they have one. We say home. Oh, okay. Thanks, Material UI. Normally it works, but we can kind of just look through here and look for ones that we're looking for, basically. So I guess let's go ahead and do this first before we start looking for those. So inside of our features, inside of our not landing, inside of our feed, we'll make, and this needs several folders, right? Well, I guess we just have the components in there and any utils we need. And then our index. Oh, I just screwed up this. We are supposed to have components and other things. Okay, so make a new folder, make our components. And we'll make a new folder. I'll call this like feed. What do we want to call this? Feed. Naming things is hard. We'll call it feed menu.tsx. Whoops. Although I don't need to name it tsx. Rename feed menu. Then inside feed menu, we'll have the feed menu.tsx. and with new file feed menu.css, right? So we'll import our React from React. I don't create a React component forever. Export const, and then we'll say feed menu, the React, oops, .fc. Not gonna have anything in it. Some people don't like arrow functions. It is what it is, and it's because we're not export const. What am I doing wrong? Why am I dumb? Just because I'm not returning anything. Return and a div, the class name equal to feed dash menu. Cool. Been a while since I wrote code and worked on things. Been out on paternity leave, so just making excuses for why I'm a terrible programmer. Anyway, so we have our feed menu. So now we need to go through and we need to figure out all the icons we need. I'm just going to start like importing them into here, and we'll kind of figure out from there. So we need like a home icon that looks like this. Are we going to find one? We're obviously not going to find Twitter's. I mean, we might be able to actually inspect this element. This is probably an SVG. So technically, what we could do, and I broke it. Twitter, why are you like this? What I could technically do is take this path, this SVG right here, this entire SVG, and you know what? I'm going to be a savage, guys. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into components, and we're going to say new folder. I'm going to say SVGs. And I'm going to be a savage. So I'm going to say new file. I'm going to say home svg.tsx and export or import React from React. This is going to export. I'm going to say export default. Const home svg React.function components. And how do we do default? And I'm being dumb, having a brain fart. React export default. Can you not do it with a, let's see. Why am I dumb? We have to do it. It might have to be an actual function. Okay, whatever. Export default function. Oops. And then get rid of this and this. And it's gonna be like this. We can probably still do this, I'm assuming. Not that it's needed. And this is returning because this is on a new line. No. The type element is not assignable to function component. Well, okay. We're gonna break my rules a little bit here. We're just gonna do like this. But it'll be fine. So here's what we're gonna do. we're going to steal Twitter's SVGs. I mean, borrow Twitter's SVGs. We're not going to steal them. We're going to right click on this and we're going to, should be a copy element, right? Copy the element, come in here and do this. And there we go. That's our SVG, class name. And save. Now, probably not the best idea to do this, but oh well, that's what it is. Not profiting off this or anything like that. It should be fine. It's just a home icon. So now we have the home icon. What we could do, we're not using it anywhere. Let's, I guess, grab the other icons. So there's our home SVG. We'll say number 4. Create the home icon SVG in a new folder in components called SVG. Oops. Would be TS, and this is home SVG. I could have called it home icon, doesn't really matter. So copy our home SVG, copy that, save, and put it in the walkthrough. But then later on, some other day, I'm going to go through and record this and it's going to be all good to go, right? So there's our home SVG. So now what we need is the Explore SVG, and this one we probably could have just gotten somewhere, but whatever. Make a new folder, not folder, new file. We'll call this Explore svg.tsx. Cool. We'll say export default function. Can't spell function right. Explore SVG. Not going to take anything, so they're just returning this. Return. And then what we'll do is we'll grab the SVG from Twitter. So we got our SVG. Copy the elements. And we're going to have to change the color of this. So, because I'm pretty sure, could be wrong, but I think whenever you hover, maybe it doesn't. I thought that whenever you hovered, it changed colors to like blue, whatever, but I could be wrong. Anyway, let's do this. Verify it a little bit. Who knows? This could have been something that Elon stole anyway. So there's our Explore SVG. It's now on the walkthrough, number 5. Create the Explore icon SVG. Explore SVG. Yes. And I'll go ahead and copy Explore SVG. And I did export default on this one just because it'll be nicer just to import them whole, basically, more or less. Okay. I got another like 30 minutes here that I can stream. The next one will be notifications SVG. So make a new SVG file. This one is notifications. svg.tsx. I don't know how we're going to do the dot or anything yet, but we'll figure out. Export default functions, applications, svg, turn, grab this svg, and let's see, copy element, and change this to class name. I'm not sure what Twitter uses, but they use regular class, so it can't be React. It could still be Angular. I'm not sure. But there we go. There's notifications SVG. Copy this. Put in the walkthrough. Number 6. Create the notifications icon SVG. So this will be notifications. Oops. Notifications SVG. Probably should have put .ts on into that, but you know, it is what it is. Now y'all know what it's like behind the scenes whenever I'm working on this. For all you haters out there that say I fake or I don't write the code, I write all the code by myself like this, and then I go back through and work through this. So I can probably start closing out some of the stuff. And so the next icon is messages.svg. We'll do messages.svg, file, messages svg, export default function messages svg, return. And also, I don't really want to hear about the SVGs because I'm not going to sit here and just recreate these basically, and they're just little icons. Obviously, I'm writing my own code and all of that stuff, but I'm not going to do these little icons and stuff like that. And paste it in there. It's just a class name. And boom, 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 boom. Oh, so there's messages SVG. Put down walkthrough. We say 7. Create the messages icon SVG. Messages, whoops, SVG. I feel like I'm typing better now than I do whenever I do the actual series, which is sad. Okay, that one. So next we got lists. I don't know what lists even are, but okay. Close out that. A new file. Lists svg.tsx. Export default function lists svg. This is riveting content, I know, but something. And copy. Seems like y'all want to see a lot more of this Twitter stuff and other coding other than the leak code that I was making. So that's kind of the idea behind this, is I'll do more of this basically, where I'm actually just coding and working on the Twitter clone, and whenever I'm finished with the Twitter clone, I'll move on to some other projects, create the list icon svg and lists svg. Plus, the other big thing is that I really need watch hours. to be honest. We hit 1,000 subs, which I'm super thankful for, but we need to hit that 1,000 or 4,000 watch hours, and easy way to do that is to live stream as much as possible, because it counts for the watch hours. Now we need communities.svg. So make a new file. Communities svg. That, and I can interact with people more. They can ask questions, you know, all of that good stuff. Export default. So it's a win-win as long as I can find time to actually live stream, that is. But I think that we're planning on starting to get up early and working out, and on the days I'm not working out, I'm gonna be working on this basically. So that's why it's so early, because at nighttime I don't really have time to record. I don't have time to do stuff like that with the baby and everything, and the baby sleeps until we can feed her at, I don't know, let's say 5:30, 5:15, 5:30. Then she'll sleep until 9 o'clock when I go to work. And so that gives me a little bit of time to work on this while she's sleeping and all of that. So 9 would be create the communities icon svg. And again, it's been pretty clear to me based off of analytics and everything that y'all are way more interested in seeing more Twitter series than the other stuff I've been trying to make to kind of have content on the channel. So I think it's probably better to record these at night time or in the morning and just kind of let them be up on my channel all day and whatnot, and then I'll kind of be like the thing. I meant to edit a couple of things out of this one, but it is what it is. All right, so we did communities. We need verified next. So grab verified, new file, verified svg. And yes, I could probably just save these as like SVG files, but whenever you do it this way, we can change things like the color and stuff like that. Export default, and then we'll say function. Whenever you make it as a component, what we can do later on is set up like a we can set up a class or whatever and actually change the color and whatnot, or I can change, you know, stuff like that on this SVG and change it directly here instead of having different copies of the SVG, which would have been smarter thing to do for like the icons and stuff that I made. But you live and you learn. That's the cool thing about this project, is that every time I work on it and everything, it helps me learn a lot. You know, I learn, you guys learn. It's all fun. So that's also why I started this project. It's just to kind of learn, explore, get better with TypeScript, stuff like that. Create the verified icon SVG. And also you guys kind of get a peek inside of kind of how I think and how I process and all that stuff. Because you might not, that might not come through whenever I'm just, you know, I don't want to say reading the script, but whenever I'm just looking at, you know, do this, this is how you do this, you know. Here you can see my mistakes, you can see kind of what I'm thinking, where I'm going with things, stuff like that. Whereas whenever I'm actually recording one of these videos to go straight to YouTube and editing it, I cut out some of the stuff because it makes it really long and all of that stuff. It doesn't make it as good of a video. So we got profile. We're gonna need the more, but I'm pretty sure if we leave this mode. Oh no, it is just more. Okay. Back to bigger. So we're at profile now. Make a new one, new file. Profile svg.tsx. And it seems like we're getting close to being kind of finished with this project, but we have so much more to do. Export, default, like the messaging itself is going to be interesting. I haven't played with WebSockets in a long time, so that'll be very interesting to say the least. And we got a bunch of other stuff. There's still some questions that I'm going to have for some of the CSS, like this top CSS where some of them stick and some of them don't. That'll be interesting as well, but I think maybe it won't be as bad as I think. And there's that path. Clean this up a little bit. SVG. Save. Okay. Now we need to create the profile icon SVG. There's profile SVG. And it's kind of slow process getting all this done, but it makes for a lot better content whenever I record it and edit it and everything. And then I think there's just like one more, right? There's just the more. Yeah. Cool. Almost done. So one more. And then we'll say more SVG. We can always add, well, we can always add however many SVGs we want here. So export default function, and we'll say more SVG. There we go. And what we'll do is, let's see, we'll say return, come back in here, yoink this, copy that element, and put it in there. Again, I'm trying to take as little from actual Twitter as possible, but whenever it's little things like icons, I'm not that concerned about it, because again, I'm not gonna recreate these icons. Hello, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's like what, 5 or 6 o'clock PM over there. I work with a couple people from around that area every once in a while. So create, whoops, if I could type, create more, create the more icon SVG. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Yes. And then this will be the more SVG. And we'll copy this. So this was a little bit of dirty work. Sometimes you gotta do a little bit of dirty work just to get stuff done. It is what it is. What can you do? Okay, so now we got all of that. Close out all this. Now we can go back to the feed menu. Yeah. Normally, whenever I have 9 a.m. meetings, it's around 7 p.m. So I was trying to do the math in my head. But I hope you're doing well today, this afternoon. Hope you had a good day. I'm just starting my morning. It's only 7 a.m. Got about another 15, maybe 20 minutes left before I gotta hop off and get ready for work. Cool. So what we'll do is, let me think. So I don't think this is gonna really take too much effort. So it doesn't. Okay, so it doesn't actually do what I was thinking. I thought it was going to change colors. So what we need to do now is, it looks like we're going to have everything shifted to the left. And so let's go ahead and do feed menu.css. And we have the dot feed menu. And we should be able to say width will be 100% of this. The height will be 100%. And we might have to do a little bit of work if it gets too small or whatever. And we're gonna, maybe we'll justify content. We might not have to justify content. So the first thing that goes in here was that Twitter logo. So I think we just need to import that from our assets. So imports, and I forget how we do this. I think we can just say, let me look at the, I forget how to do this. It's been a while. Let's say login modal top. And okay, we just say import blue logo. We're gonna go ahead and import this blue logo. So this is the first time we need. I'm gonna put it in a div, and we'll call this class name. Awesome, that's great. Equal to, this will be feed dash menu dash, and this will be logo. And in here we'll have the image, the source equal to, it'll be the blue logo. And this will probably need a class name. This will be the background to this. Class name equal to feed dash menu dash logo. Because the logo will be one thing, and then we'll need a background, because if you look on Twitter, it's like got the gray hover background, right? And we might be able to inspect this, maybe. See, we inspect this Twitter logo. Really an SVG, but yeah, and now it's gone. This makes it really difficult. All right, so go back here. So here's the div. Actually an A tag. Oh yeah, it is a link, isn't it? It refreshes the page basically. Okay, so yeah, we'll have to deal with that, I guess. Now look at the styles. So the background, whenever it's hovered, is an RGBA 1520 25.1. Okay. Well, that helps. So it's going to be size of, let's see, how big are you? Muted 50 by 50. So that's going to be our background, basically. So come in here. So our menu logo BG. I haven't actually looked at what this looks like yet. It's going to be massive. Actually, I haven't put it in there yet. So if we wanted to see it, we'd have to go into feed page. And we have to say, and this is going to change a little bit. For imports, we're going to import feed menu. And now we can put feed menu in here. Assuming this works. It doesn't, it's not going to take in anything crazy or anything, I don't think. And it took us back to here. Go back home. And I do think we need to name this feed. Yeah, okay. I knew that was going to happen. So you need to fix this. So feed menu logo BG. I'm not writing any of this down yet because I wanna try to get as much done and make it look pretty as possible. Then I'll deal with this. So we have our height 50, that 50, feed dash menu dash logo. And this will be the same thing. Actually, the width will probably be a little bit smaller, maybe like 48 pixels. And the height will also be a little bit smaller, maybe like 48 pixels. And I need to import it, right? Classic. Import feed menu.css /. Nice. Save. Now, there we go. It's still a little bit big. So this icon is actually like 25 by 25. It needs some margin and stuff, but we can deal with the padding and all of that stuff a little bit later. So this is more like 25 by 25. And that means that we're going to have to also have a display flex in here. We'll justify content center and align item center. That should kind of center it. Now, okay, it's a little bit small, but I could probably bump it up to about 30 by 30. I think that this Twitter logo is like not, I mean, I literally outlined it. It's not perfect. And obviously what we'd have to do also is say like dot feed menu logo bg : hover. And this will have a border radius of like 100%. And background color of RGBA. It was like, what was it? I can yoink that color really quick. Where'd that color go? Oh, yoink the color really quick. Oh, now I'm not gonna be able to get it to work, huh? There we go. Background color 15, 20, 25. It's kind of nice to have that color. 15, 20, 25.1. I've been looking for this color for a while, trying to figure out what the hover color is. Now, obviously, we need some sort of not stuck to the, well, actually, if we change the background color, there's maybe a little bit of padding on the top of this. Maybe a little bit. And that's about it. Like we might be able to like padding like 1 pixel. It's probably fine. I think that looks probably fine because here's the thing. We're going to take off that background color. And it's going to look pretty similar. So if we go into the feed.css, we get rid of the blue violet, save. Now it's blue, but it's going to look similar. Let's undo that. Okay, so there's our birdie. And now we just need a bunch of divs that basically do the same exact thing, right? We need like our home and yada yada yada. And it looks like all we really have to do for this is just figure out the font size. It looks like about font size 20. This is a font size of like 20 or whatever. and it looks like there's just like a little bit of space in between them, so maybe like a whatever, a flex box. So need 1, 2, and let's see, is this, nope, these are just separate things. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we just need 9 divs. I say that like it's not that many. 9 divs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. And then what we'll have to do is class name equal to feed dash menu. And we could probably just say, we could probably reuse some of this. Probably don't have to. So we can say feed menu dash, what do we want to say? Can't say container because it's not really a container. This is a, let's see. This entire thing is a tag. Interesting. This is actually just a nav bar. But so we don't have to do the exact same. What do I want to call this though? Trying to think how I want to deal with this, or what I want to call this. Could call it like a label box, but I don't know if I want to call it label box. Let's call this nav element or something, or nav item, sure. And I should have done it like this instead. So I'm gonna delete this. I guess I can go ahead and make these A tags, or I could make this a nav like this. I can say nav, and I'll say we have to use a link though, so let's say a link from ReactJS DOM, and the href will be equal to nothing for now. Oops. Or it's to how do we use link? I forgot to use link. How do we use React link? React router link. How do we use link? I forget. A tag, yada yada yada. Oh, it's just 2. Okay, we just say 2, not href. Cool. Link to class name is going to be, what happened to my music? Oh, it died. Oh, well, it's about time for me to end. Let me finish up this quick thought, and then I'll wrap it up. Class name will be feed dash menu dash nav dash link. And then inside we'll have our text. And I think, yeah, thank you, Deepak. I haven't done much routing and stuff for a while, but I think this should be okay for now. I think we can put stuff in there, but I'll pick back up on Thursday. So thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for whoever watched the stream. After the fact, I'm going to unlist this, or I'm going to unlist this for a little bit to edit out a couple of uh-ohs that I shouldn't have done, and then I'm going to re-upload them. So again, thank you all. We got a little bit of work done. We'll get some more work done Thursday, and then hopefully like Friday or early next week I can record a couple more episodes. But for now, I have plenty of episodes kind of in the backlog. So thank you all again, and see you next time.